Hey guys, it's CJ Goodspeed with Goodspeed Entertainment. I come to you today from a friend of mine's house. He invited me over here. He said he had some stuff he wanted to talk about. So not only are we going to talk about that, but there's some stuff I want to talk to him about myself. So we're going to kind of go over what I want, and then we'll get to what he wants. But without further ado, I'm going to welcome Wild Thing to the show.
Thank you, CJ.
No problem. Well, man, it's been a while. You know, last time I visited you over here, we was doing something. It didn't go quite so well. So hopefully we don't have any surprises tonight.
I checked around pretty good. I don't think anyone's going to sneak up on us today.
I hope not. So how you been doing here lately?
As good as you can be, coming off of 2 or 3 losses.
Yeah, that's true. You're on kind of a down slope here lately. Hadn't been too.
You ain't got to rub it in.
I didn't.
Things happen, man.
Look, I'm with you 100%. It's concerning, of course.
For who?
Everybody, the fans, everybody.
Well, I'm glad y'all are concerned.
We are very concerned. Everybody likes you.
That's questionable, but it's good to hear.
Nah. There's something that I've done before with Alexis. Whenever we had some interviews going on for one show. But this will be the first time I do it with a wrestler. So hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully everybody out there enjoys it. I'm going to run down, so far, the matches that have been released to the public.
Okay.
And kind of get your opinion, which
okay.
You're in the ring. So I think you've been in the ring with half these people already.
I'm sure I have.
So let's start off with we'll start off with I think it's a 4-way. We have Wes Warren, Dale Springs,
yeah, right,
Braxton Hunter, and Hunter Law. What do you think? First of all, let me ask you this: being in a match with this many people, not necessarily a battle royal, but with this, and you have to try to pin somebody in. You got this person pulling you off, that person. How do you even game plan for a match like that?
Man, it's hard. For one, you better have good cardio, because it's different being in there with one opponent. You know where he's at 99% of the time. You know what he does. You've studied. You've game planned. You can't game plan for that. You know each guy, but you're not in there facing each guy. So
you don't really focus on one competitor. When you're training, you got to kind of focus on everybody.
You don't know what's going to happen, who's behind you. The best thing you can do is survive. You're in there for survival and to win. Mm-hmm. But to win, you have to survive. Right. And if you take too much damage, you're not going to win. Mm-mm. So you have to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
I got you.
But, man, Dale Springs, Braxton Hunter, great competitors. We got Hunter Law, who showed up and was excellent against Red. Yes. Close to could be the SEC champion today.
Yeah.
It was that close.
Yes.
I think all 3 of those guys are excellent, and they can win at any moment. They have the talent to win the match. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going with my honest opinion, if I'm picking, Wes Warren is going to win that match. Since he's come to Pro Wrestling 225, he made easy work of Jet Danger. He went toe-to-toe with Corey Constantine, and Corey won the match, but Wes Warren beat Corey Constantine up. Mm-hmm. They beat each other up. And then we all know I just faced Wes Warren, and he's every bit of what he's billed as.
Definitely.
He's got something inside of him, makes him real angry, and he uses that to his advantage. I don't know what's going on with him, why he's always angry. I remember when I was a teenager, mad at the world. Maybe that's the phase he's going through. I don't know. But man, he's definitely a force to be reckoned with, and he's got bright future in pro wrestling 225.
Oh, yes.
I don't see anyone being able to control him, and I got to go with Wes Warren there. He's probably the biggest guy in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the strongest. Yeah, and he'll do anything to win.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Any of those guys can win that match at any moment, but if I got to pick, I'm going Wes Warren.
Okay. I can't disagree with you on that. How about we have Mad Dog Gil Gracie, former Pro Wrestling 225 champion, one of the longest reigning Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight champion, going against a guy that's on a roll right now, the leader of the Hay Nation, Chase Matthews.
Let me just say this. I was on a roll as well when I faced Mad Dog.
Yes, you were.
And did that matter once I got in the ring with the Mad Dog?
Not at all.
All right, so I don't know that anybody walking this planet is going to pick Chase Matthews in this match. And that's not disrespect to Chase Matthews at all.
Mm-hmm.
Guy works real hard. Guy has a lot of heart. Has the Hay Nation behind him. But none of that matters when you get in there with Mad Dog. Someone like Mad Dog, Gil's going to win.
Okay.
And look, I'll be the first to applaud and congratulate Chase for pulling that match off.
Yeah.
And who I'm going for? I'm going for Chase Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
He's a better person. He's a nicer guy.
Yes.
I'm going for Chase Matthews. I'll be in his corner. I'll be clapping.
Right.
Not in his corner as in the ring, but man, look, most of us are. We don't want to see Gil Gracie win. We don't want to see Big Ramp win. But what you want and what you get is two different things, and I wouldn't bet any of my money against Gil Gracie.
You would be foolish too. I mean, very foolish too. Just his track record and what he's accomplished. I mean, I don't think him going into a match he's ever really considered to be an underdog.
Nah.
You know, and he has a track record to prove that. That leads us to another match. We have Charles West, one half of the Pro Wrestling 225 Tag Team Champions, against Christian Blake, who is one half of the former Tag Team Champions, the Overboys. Pride, kind of like half the Pride versus half the Overboys.
Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
It's not that hard of a concept.
It's not. So what's your thoughts on that one? Before you answer that, let me ask you this: have you ever faced Charles West?
Yeah, actually, I have. It's funny you ask. We crossed paths years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Probably close to a decade ago now.
Wow. Okay.
But very talented guy, and he's 10 times better now.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, Christian Blake and I have been around each other for years. Way more shows together than me and Charles West. But I've never faced Christian Blake one-on-one. I've been in tag matches. I've been in multi-guy matches. I've been in...
the Rumble, I think.
Things like that. But I've never faced Christian Blake bell-to-bell one-on-one.
Right. I'd be curious to even... that the Rumbles that I've seen, I don't even know if y'all have ever actually tied up.
Yes. We were the last two in the Super Gold 3 Rumble.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right.
Which Christian Blake is one of the last 4 or 5 in every Super Gold Rumble.
Every Super Gold Rumble.
One of these days he's going to pull it off.
Yeah.
He's definitely there every time.
Yeah.
Actually, that match is, to me, pretty evenly matched. That's a toss-up to me. I'm going to be pulling for Christian Blake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a toss-up. I'm going to call that one a toss-up. I'm not going to even pick a winner.
Let me ask you this: if Charles West has Vladimir Koloff come out with him in his corner, would you still throw it as a toss-up? Or?
Man, is General Manager Brett Ian Landry even going to allow that?
You wouldn't think
That's an
he
X
would.
factor.
Right.
His relationship with Christian Blake. I mean,
Right.
we know Jordan Ja won't be there, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe Braxton Hunter. I mean, he's got a match to focus on. I don't know if he wants to.
Another question is, how's that relationship?
Right. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. So that's going to be a. I think it. To me, it has too many moving parts that could not happen. More than a normal wrestling match that does, you know. It will. And since we just talked about Charles West, might as well talk about his partner, Vladimir Koloff, who since being at 225 has made a name for himself.
Yes, he
But
has.
he's running up against a guy that's made a name for himself in Pro Wrestling 225 ever since Pro Wrestling 225 has been open. The Minotaur, which you've definitely been in the ring with him.
I have, and now he's leaner and meaner and quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But he's older. Vlad's a young guy, a lot of momentum behind him, but it's just like I said about Gil Gracie. I don't know how many matches I'd ever pick against Minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Minotaur there. That's the first ever Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight champion. He's a monster. I mean, Vladimir Koloff is a force to be reckoned with, but I'm going Minotaur there.
It's going to be a very interesting, heavy-hitting match. I don't think there's going to be many moves in that match. I think that's going to be a brawl, if I had to guess. Which I don't know who that benefits more.
Vlad better move around.
Yeah.
Because once Minotaur corners you, it's a wrap.
All she wrote, huh?
Hell yeah.
Well, I saved this one for last for the simple reason because what it's going to be for the Pro Wrestling 225 Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
You have Mr. Hayes, who is now the Pro Wrestling 225 champion, against, I mean, this guy. I can't say enough good things about him, what he's done, what he's accomplished in these last couple years here. Corey Constantine, the former Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight champion.
Man, Corey Constantine just deserves his rematch for the title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who was on a roll early 2020, who earned every bit of it, who fought through adversity, won the Pro Wrestling 225 heavyweight championship, and then bam, the world's in a pandemic.
Right.
And, I mean, he went through everything, every challenge. He stayed active.
Mm-hmm.
And
he wasn't afraid to put that title up.
And now you have, I mean, Lucha LaCora almost killed him.
Yes.
And all he wants is his shot.
Yeah, he just wants another shot.
He shows up to Conflict. He wants his shot. And Big Ramp pulls some funny business, and he gets to face Wes Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, he come out of that match healthy enough to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So now he wants his shot. Now he's getting it. We think he's getting it.
Well, Ramp's not the GM, so that's a plus.
He wasn't the GM at Conflict. But
You're
Big
right,
Ramp
he
signs his
wasn't.
own contracts. We don't know what goes on in those contract signings. We don't know until Big Ramp comes out and tells us.
Right.
So Corey Constantine's in the ring thinking he has a match, and Big Ramp comes. Well, he has a match, but it's not what he asked for.
Right.
But Corey's a competitor. He's going to face whatever they throw at him.
True.
But how many times can he do that before he snaps?
I don't know.
The man wants his title shot.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
And it's kind of.
and if he gets it, if at Fright Night he gets it, which it's scheduled to happen,
Mm-hmm.
or I mean it's set. Corey Constantine versus Purple Haze for the Pro Wrestling 225 Heavyweight Championship. Corey Constantine walks out of Fright Night with the title. Write it down. I said it right now.
Uh-huh.
Corey Constantine walks out of Fright Night with the Pro Wrestling 225 Heavyweight Championship.
I'm gonna be. I mean, you know more than I do when it comes to being in the ring. I mean, I can analyze all day long, but I've never stepped foot in that ring. So, You know both these guys very well.
Write it down.
I will. It's written down. It's stamped. Signed, sealed, delivered.
A lot of people don't like Big Ramp. A lot of people don't like. You seen what happened at March Madness. Look, you don't have to be friends with a guy to have a common enemy.
No.
So when you get the right people behind you and we come together for a good cause, good things happen. And
Right.
And hopefully Corey Constantine doesn't need anyone, but he knows people.
Well, it's funny you brought up March Madness because every time I sit down with Big Ramp, he basically says that y'all are the reason why Corey's champion.
Well, we are. You think about it.
Wow.
Not that he couldn't do it without us, but when you bringing in loaded elbow pads, you bringing in Big Ramp at ringside, we just even the odds a bit.
I agree.
So if we weren't there, Corey Constantine probably wouldn't be the heavyweight champion. Right? You take Big Ramp out, you don't need us.
True, yeah.
But since they are in there trying to do the same thing they did to us, that's why we were there.
Right, because all that happened to y'all, basically.
And we know you get the title on a guy like Corey Constantine, and you get opportunities because he will be a fighting champion, and he will face you one-on-one without all that extra drama. So why wouldn't guys want a champion like that?
You're right. I could see an advantage for y'all.
Exactly.
Having that
You want to face the top guy, and you want the top guy to give you an opportunity that you earn, and you want it to be. I mean, I don't want to say fair, but I mean
somebody that's not known for being devious.
You want a shot,
a true shot,
a competitor's chance with all that funny stuff. Without all that funny stuff going on, man. I mean. Guys just want to go out and compete.
Yep.
And the best man win.
Well, and speaking of that, let's. I appreciate you taking the time to go through that with me.
It's fun.
That was good.
We had a great show coming up, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Pro Wrestling 225 always puts on some great events.
Yes.
And luckily, they call me, and I'm there and ready to compete.
Definitely.
Always ready to compete.
Well, we went over. You mentioned the West Warren match, but there's another match that I'd be really neglecting duties to my viewers and stuff because not a lot has been talked about it that much after. And I'm not gonna lie to you, for that match, I had you picked, but I had you picked for kind of some shady reasons. The Dream Team,
right?
The three-way that. At the end, everything seems fine. Is everything fine
with us now? Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Good.
Everybody's seen us in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. What y'all saw was 100% legit. We weren't just out there putting on a good face to be a good feeling moment. We meant that. We talked after, sat down, had a few drinks, talked. Everything's good, man. We talk every day.
Good. I know the fans are glad to hear that.
Hopefully some opportunities for us to get back together and go on a roll as a tag team, come up soon. I mean, that's not 100% our focus. We all have our own careers to worry about, but
right.
It's definitely not out the cards.
Awesome. That is great. That's good news, and I'm sure everybody out there is glad to hear that because everybody I would run into on the streets or anybody hitting me up in my inbox on Facebook, it was always, well, we know you and Wild Thing talk and everything. And
yeah, well.
So.
As far as the I won't go into too much detail about all the lack of trust that you've had in me and that Rocket had in me that he expressed at 225 Mania, but I mean I deserve that, and we've all been through some rough patches, and that's all behind us now. So
that's awesome.
We're good to go.
I am
looking forward.
Definitely. Well, man, I can't help but say this also, and I know a lot of people think because we do have some sort of relationship outside of work or everything that I don't always ask you everything or don't always divulge stuff. And it's not true, of course. But with that being said, and I hope you don't consider this invading your privacy too much, when I walked in, before we sat down and started rolling everything, I noticed you had an ice pack on your shoulder.
Oh,
and
yeah, man.
I can't help but notice you have this now.
Like I mentioned, Wes Warren beating up Corey Constantine. Corey Constantine could barely walk after that match. But as far as I know, he's doing good right now. He's 100% and ready to go for Fright Night. I wasn't so lucky against Wes Warren. He beat me up. And the guy's strong and has no mercy. And I didn't come out of that match really. We never come out 100%, but
Right.
it's a little worse than it usually is. And just a little banged up. But I'll be good to go for Fright Night. I mean, we're still weeks away. I'm good.
Well, a little banged up is one thing, but a little banged up, you usually don't have something like this on you.
Oh, man. It's good. Just precautions. We're good to go.
Well, so you're still working out like you always do and doing all the same stuff that you always do?
A little limited, but still at the gym every day.
Okay.
I'll be ready to go for Fright Night. I don't want anyone to worry. We're good to go.
Well, you know, your fans out there, they do worry. And
Hey,
I'm sure after this comes out, I'll be getting a bunch of inboxes once again, more likely you too.
I'll be good to go for Fright Night. Fans, Wild Thing will be competing at Fright Night. Good to go.
Well,
And actually, speaking of competing at Fright Night, I'll be there and I'll be competing. Hopefully, I'll be competing against who I want to compete against. And it's not so much about competition with this guy.
okay.
It's a lot more than that. It's a lot deeper than that. And I'm coming off a couple losses. Michael White just lost the SEC championship. So he's not in the best place neither.
No.
So neither one of us should be crying about opportunities. Because as of right now, we haven't earned it. So we're both coming off of losses. Why not Michael White versus Wild Thing at Fright Night 1-on-1?
Well, White, as far as I know, is not going to be there.
But that's the difference. When I lose, I go back to the drawing board, I get back in the gym, and I come back stronger. Michael White disappears, has someone else cry on Facebook for him. What is that?
That's Michael White.
When life gets tough, guys like me, we keep fighting.
Right.
Guys like Michael White, they shrivel up in a corner somewhere and cry about opportunities and cry about excuses.
He's definitely thrown a lot of that out.
And there's no one, and I repeat, no one on this planet that I would rather get my hands on every day.
And
I would beat up Michael White every day if they let me.
I understand that. But he's not going to be there.
He has to be where his contract says he has to be. As far as I know, is he done with 225?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
I mean, last I knew, he was employed by Pro Wrestling 225.
I can only assume.
And if he's, I mean, we know Michael White. Michael White is a tough competitor. I would never take that from him.
He's a sleazy
I would not want
individual too.
I would not want to beat someone up and compete against them if they weren't.
Right.
I mean, you don't see me out there trying to beat you up.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I definitely am not a competitor. By no means.
I'm kidding. But anyway. Yeah, man. Mike White is a tough competitor, but he's a weasel.
Yes.
And he's chicken shit.
Yes.
I don't get it. I mean, he's a tough guy. He goes out there, he fights. But then when it going gets tough, Mike White gets going. And when I say get going, I don't mean fighting and competing. I mean running
But he's never
and hiding.
But he's never left like this though. Like, I mean, he's always if he loses or whatever a big match, he does kind of go and he goes.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. Nobody has talked to him. Nobody has seen him. Nobody has seen anything about this guy.
I'm putting a challenge out there. Michael White, I know you're watching this. So October 30th.
Wait, let me stop you before you do that.
Don't you ever.
Let me stop you. Hold on. Is that somebody you really want to face with your way your shoulder?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you and be rude. I'm sorry.
Michael White, October 30th, Plaquemine, Louisiana. Why don't we meet up in the ring, one-on-one, both coming off of losses? Come out of hiding. Stop crying about excuses. You're no longer champion. So let's do it. I know you hate me. What better opportunity to get back on track and get a W for one of us than right here at Fright Night, one-on-one. Let's do it.
And to be honest with you, I can't think of a better way to end that except with that challenge out there. So hopefully you're 100%. Hopefully Mike White.
CJ, I'm good to go.
I understand that. I hear you. I definitely hear you. I hear you.
You hear me.
I hear you. I understand. You're going to be fine for Fright Night.
I'm going to be fine.
Okay. Hopefully that match will happen. Hopefully
It has to happen. He can't hide forever.
Look. You know my
Dude,
relationship.
when
my relationship with him. And
When Michael White was the SEC champion and he ducked and dodged people, at least he could say, you don't deserve a title shot. At least he can say, what did you do to deserve a title shot? Mm-hmm. Right now, what leverage does Michael White have to deny anyone a fight? If he wants a rematch with Red leaves it open for him.
Yeah.
So he's not interested in that.
No.
Red's in the ring, face to face, telling anyone, come out and fight me, and Michael White doesn't answer. But he complains about his SEC championship.
Mm-hmm.
If it's yours, answer the challenge. It's that easy.
I hope it happens, man. There's nothing more than what I would like to see is you and him in the ring again. Hopefully that happens on October 30th in Plaquemine at Copac, Fright Night. This is one of the bigger Pro Wrestling 225 shows. It comes around every year. Every year this show comes around.
And it's going to happen. I'm 100%. Michael White's going to be there. Call up that guy. His representative. Call him up.
I will.
Tell him let's get there.
I'll try to. I've tried to call. Never had any.
Do you want to go find Michael White right now?
No, not really.
I can't do it. My kids are in the back. I can't leave them.
And I really don't want to see him.
And I don't want to bring him because my boys will probably kick his ass.
You're right. More than likely. But like I said, I hope it happens. Even if that doesn't happen, you have an awesome card. You're still going to be there. I'm sure if White does chicken.
I'm going to be fighting Michael White.
Okay. All right. Michael White, apparently you have a date with Destiny. And it goes by the name of Wild Thing. And it's going to happen October 30th.
Come prove yourself, buddy.
October 30th.
Me and Michael White been fighting for years.
Oh, I know. October 30th, Copac, Plaquemine, Fright Night. You do not want to miss it. There's going to be some trick-or-treating for the kids. It's a great... I
wish Michael White would put his freaking career on the line.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I mean...
He'll never do that.
I'm not saying he will. I'm not going to put too much on the table.
I would, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if he would, I would.
That is interesting. That is very...
Because that's... to get rid of Michael White, I'd be doing a service to everyone.
Definitely to
including
me.
myself.
Definitely me too, because that guy has nothing but a
One
pain.
day, I'm going to get rid of him.
I don't know. It's hard to get rid of a virus.
It is, but now they got these shots out. They got these pills I'm hearing about.
You can get him. You can force one down his throat, maybe. Stab him with it. Man, as always.
Get the Michael White vaccine.
We need that. As always, though, it has been a pleasure to sit down with you and talk with you.
No problem.
Thanks for welcoming me.
I called you here so I could challenge Mike White. So you better watch this. Email it to him.
Oh, he will. And I'll send it to him. I'll make sure he sees it.
Make sure he gets it.
I definitely will.
Put it on VHS, UPS it to his house.
I'll make sure he gets it. I'll make sure he sees it. If he'll open my emails or respond to me.
Can we get a response from Michael White before Fright Night?
I would love to get a response from him, period.
Why?
About anything.
I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, now we have a reason to, though.
I would be fine if I never heard from Michael White again besides fighting him in the ring. As far as hearing him, listening to him speak.
I don't think y'all like call each other up on the phone and talk or text or send flowers or anything like that. So
no.
The only way you are going to hear from him or see from him, well, you might hear a video from him because that'd be about it if he does that.
No,
I'm telling you, he's MIA. He's missing in action. I'd fight him if he
came here right now.
Oh, I'm sure you would. I am so sure you would.
The amount of hate that we have for each other, it's more than titles. It's more than competition. I want to get rid of him.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want to bring up, bad things, but the last couple of times you dealt with him, he's kind of not necessarily beat you, but kind of done some real sneaky.
So isn't that more of a reason he should do it again?
I can't speak for this guy.
I'm giving Michael White way more pros than cons of facing me.
Maybe if the powers to be at Pro Wrestling 225 say, hey, you beat Wild Thing, we give you some sort of title. I don't know, title shot. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you get a man that I don't know how he thinks. I kind of do know how he thinks, but I can't put myself in his shoes.
Be thankful you can.
Thank God. You're right.
It's probably shoes he stole.
More than likely.
So
more than
putting
likely.
yourself in
he
his
stole
shoes,
everything else.
Maybe just putting your shoes back on.
Yeah. 100% on that.
But I know you're trying to close this out, and like I said, I called you here so I could challenge Michael White, and that's what I did. So Michael White, I'm going to say it one more time. October 30th, Copac Gym, Fright Night. Come on out. Let's face each other one-on-one. Let's fight. I don't like you. You don't like me. We know that. The fans know that. My mom and them know that. Everybody knows that. So let's settle it. Once and for all. I'll even say that.
That's wow.
I'm probably lying. But I'll say anything to get Michael White at Fright Night.
Well, hopefully we'll get a response. White, if you would like, call me. I'll come and sit down with you. We'll get it signed. Get it signed. Brett Landry, he's going to be the GM.
So why am I sitting here? That's right. Why am I talking to you?
I don't know. I'm
going to call up Brett Landry as soon as we're done with this.
There you go. Well, guys, come out and see one of the best shows that you'll see on Halloween. I can promise you. A bunch of things for the kids to do. You will not have any regrets. Later, guys.